Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I'm meteorologist Jesse Hawila, and as we take a look at the highs today and the low compared to the norm, one thing that we've really seen over the last several years, especially the lows, have been very warm, and that's what, especially relative to the normal. The low this morning was 78 degrees. This is a lot of times, and this is because of the urban heat island effect. This is a lot of times why we see these spikes in temperatures on the average temp over a given amount of time, because we have the urban heat island effect. The normal low is 73. We were 78 this morning. 94 was the high this afternoon. The normal is 92, so we weren't far off there. The record is 104, set back in the benchmark summer of 2011. You know, there are a couple of summers that really come to mind in North Texas when you think of kind of the benchmarks. That's 1980, 2011, 2022, and 2023 are obviously on that list compared to how hot, especially with how hot it had been. 56, though, that's the record low set back in 1912. Still doing fine on precipitation. We've had none today. If we look for the month, we're sitting just a little bit, about a third below normal, so not very far. And for the year, we're about 1.5 inches above normal. So a little bit of a surplus there in the rainfall department. Obviously, the spring has helped. 89 degrees the temperature now with a dew point of 67. That's that measure of moisture in the air. It's very humid outside, so it feels like 92. And it's going to stay humid as we go through the rest of the weekend. Your pollen count. Today, moderate grass, moderate oak. Fungus is low. As we take a look at radar here across the Dallas-Fort Worth area, we're still quiet in the Metroplex. I want to show you what we've been monitoring as we've gone through this evening. A little thunderstorm activity out toward Childress. Moving into southwestern Oklahoma, there's Hobart, there's Altus. You can see these thunderstorms, a couple of them severe thunderstorm warned. This is along a boundary that's stationary. Now, interesting enough, these thunderstorms are actually, because of their what we call an outflow boundary, the rain cooled air, they were kind of sitting stationary for a while. They were drifting south. Now they're kind of going back to the north. So with that being said, that just kind of increases the confidence that we have in our forecast of very low chance for a shower or thunderstorm as we go through tonight. So, you know, there's still the chance for a shower or thunderstorm mainly along the Red River as we go through tonight. We've had these coastal showers and storms, and yes, coastal. That's right. I know it's weird, but you know, you have these little boundaries that come off the Gulf of America. And as it moves to the north, it'll trigger a few showers and thunderstorms across East Texas and far southeast Texas. And then that's where you get your scattered rain and a few thunderstorms. But none of that was severe. That's all kind of fizzling out now as we go through tonight. What we have here is what we call anvil blow-off. So you have these big thunderstorms out in Oklahoma. They erupt, they hit kind of the bottom of the stratosphere, the top of the troposphere, and you get this blow-off of cloud debris, if you will, that comes into North Texas. So that's all we're seeing there, and that's all we're expecting as we go through tonight. Now, there still is that low risk, really low risk for a strong to severe thunderstorm, mainly along the Red River, but really the coverage looks really low. If there's going to be a thunderstorm, it's going to be 1 or 2 in our Red River counties as we go through tonight. Otherwise, overnight is quiet. We have mostly clear to partly cloudy skies tonight. We'll start the day off with a little bit of cloud cover across the Dallas-Fort Worth area. There's 7 a.m., a little bit of clouds across the Metroplex. Then as we go through the afternoon, really similar to today. A lot of sunshine. It's going to be hot. It's going to be humid, and as we get into the late afternoon and evening, we might be able to pop up 1 or 2 showers or thunderstorms. I mean, the coverage will be exceptionally low, less than 10%, but not 0. But you can see there's, you know, timecast kind of hinting toward it's not out of the question that a couple of raindrops will fall sometime tomorrow late afternoon into the evening. Most of us will stay dry and hot. 95 in Dallas tomorrow. The record is 103. Again, we were talking about benchmark summers a second ago. 1980, obviously one of those benchmark summers, the hottest summer ever in North Texas. 90 in Denton, 91 in Athens, 93 in Terrell, 93 in Paris. You go out into the western sections of North Texas, 98 degrees in Archer City, 97 in Seymour, 96 in Graham, 97 in Albany. Matt Howerton's here, everybody, on WFAA Plus. We're live. Matt, we're live right now. Would you like to come over here for a second?
Yeah, sure.
The weather's quiet, and I'm just talking about how hot it's going to. You've done this before, so go ahead and read us some numbers.
You want me to hop in real quick?
Look at this guy. Go ahead. What do you got?
Okay, so yeah, we
have
a very hot day, obviously, in store for Thursday.
Yeah,
clearly.
Yeah.
You're going to have 95-degree weather in Dallas, and I think that's important because that's almost, with humidity, probably going to be unbearable.
Well, I've got those numbers there, right there. 102. Thank you very much, Matt Howerton. Now, I don't know Matt's life, but I think he works out a little more than I do. 103, maybe. I can't tell. 103 degrees is what it's going to feel like tomorrow in Fort Worth. That's right, 102 in Dallas. That'll be your heat index tomorrow afternoon. So you get the idea. You factor in the humidity with the high heat that we're expecting. It's going to feel even hotter. And we expect that trend to last the rest of this week and into the weekend. The humidity will not die down anytime soon. This is a very typical summertime pattern with the heat dome taking shape through this weekend. So big area of high pressure, that's going to build in. Heat and humidity are here to stay. Obviously, it's mid-June. We're going into late June soon, so obviously that's just how it goes. It's summer. Rain chances begin to diminish. Very typical pattern with the heat dome. And we talk about the heat dome quite often, but what exactly is it? Just a big area of high pressure. These big upper-level ridges bring air from the upper atmosphere and it sinks. Okay, and the sinking air does a couple of things. As it sinks, it compresses and it causes warming. So that compressing air starts to heat up. It also limits cloud and thunderstorm development, which is why you'll see in the 14-day forecast, there's not a lot of, there are a couple chances for showers and storms here or there as the ridge kind of moves around a little bit. We kind of get on the periphery of it at some time, so we might see a couple shower and storm chances here or there, but overall very low chances. Very summer-like, very typical. These factors combined act like a heat dome. They trap the heat at the surface and we just get hot. And if you look over the next 5 days, none of that's going to change. 95 Thursday, 96 Friday, 97 on Saturday. So we'll stay several degrees, hotter than the norm. But the norm is 92 to 93 degrees this time of the year. Higher humidity means it's going to feel like 101 to 103 the rest of this week. Into the weekend and even next Monday, we're still, it's the same type of weather over the next 5 days. Nothing is going to change as we look through this. Not only the next 5 days, but you look over the next couple of weeks. Pretty similar pattern set up for the next 14 days. 76 tonight. There's that really low chance for an isolated shower or thunderstorm north of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Tomorrow, 95. Mostly sunny, hot and humid. The heat index about 102. That's for DFW. Some of you will see heat index values as high as 103 or 104. 14-day forecast. You see what I mean? Same stuff, right? We have highs that don't really move much between 95 and 98 over the next 2 weeks. Rain chances minimal. I don't see much in the way of rain as we go through the next 7, but then you get beyond that. We'll introduce a couple more chances for showers and storms to wrap up the month of June. But if you look, it'll be Thursday, June 26th, the 29th, 30th, and July 1st, where we have a chance for a shower or thunderstorm. But right now, again, this time of the year, those chances tend to be pretty isolated, and you can't rule out a stronger severe thunderstorm, but overall, the threat stays on the low side this time of the year. We lack wind shear. We have tons of instability, but we do lack in the wind shear department. I want to show you something else going on across the world. It is hurricane season, and right now the Atlantic is quiet. However, the Pacific's starting to heat up here. We have Hurricane Erik just off the western coast of Mexico, and you can see already from the outer bands of Erik some strong winds, some heavy rain, some high surf in these areas. Already seeing a little bit of street flooding in the area, but you can see just how the winds are starting to pick up. And tonight's, the latest on Hurricane Erik, it is actually now a Category 3 hurricane that's expected to make landfall within the next 24 hours. So, folks that are vacationing or that live along the west coast of Mexico, certainly gearing up for that. You can see just how high the tide is. And there's the street flooding and the heavy rain falling because of this, what is now a major hurricane. So anything from Category 3 or higher is considered major hurricane status. And that's what Mexico is preparing for tonight and over the next couple of days. I want to show you the very latest on Hurricane Erik. So again, the Atlantic is quiet, but if you get to the Pacific side, so you're looking at the Eastern Pacific, this is Hurricane Erik, and you can see already the bands bringing in some very heavy rain. There's Acapulco. You go farther to the southeast, then you get into Guatemala. So between Guatemala and Acapulco, Mexico, that's where the heavy rain and the stronger winds are coming right now. The winds sustained 120, gust of 130. This is moving northwest at 9 miles per hour. Again, that's Hurricane Erik moving to the northwest. Here's the latest track. It's expected to make landfall very early tomorrow morning. This is going to make landfall southeast of Acapulco, and then it moves to the north. And once it gets into this desert part in the very mountainous part of Mexico, this will collapse very fast. So once, if you look here tonight, overnight, early tomorrow morning, Category 3 hurricane. By Thursday afternoon, it's a tropical storm, and then it dissipates to just the remnants of Hurricane Erik as we get into the end of the week. Now, we are in the middle of hurricane season, so if you look here, Hurricane season. What we've done here, we break it into hurricanes and then the combination of all tropical systems. This is kind of a graph to show you when the season peaks. Very obvious peak right here in the end of August through the middle of September. That is actually the peak of hurricane season. The climatological peak is September 10th. So we're kind of in the early stages here of hurricane season. So there's June 20 right there. There's July 10. We start to see a big uptick in activity by the time we get into August. And then certainly our peak is September 10th before things start to trail down a little bit, obviously by the end of the year. And for the Atlantic side, the forecast kind of on the more active side. The average number of named storms is 14. The current forecast is 13 to 19. We're forecasting 6 to 10 hurricanes to form in the Atlantic. The average is 7. So if you look at kind of the average compared to the forecast, it's kind of on the higher end of norm. So maybe near the normal, if not above normal. We're going to call it an active Atlantic season compared to the normal. And then if we go to major hurricanes, the forecast 3 to 5. The average is 3. So of course we're going to watch the Atlantic. We're going to watch Hurricane Erik. But here in North Texas, things stay quiet as we have just big ridge of high pressure building in and high temperatures stay in the mid to upper 90s over the next 2 weeks. Thank you so much for joining us on WFAA Plus. Hope you have a good night.